Greetings and welcome to the NewsRamp Cannabis podcast. I'm your host, Max Newsman, delighted to have you with us as we explore today's top stories. At newsramp.com, we curate business news from the best newswires, bringing you the most relevant updates. Before we dive in, just a quick heads up. While AI assists in producing this podcast and generating the voices, the news stories are all real. You can read the full articles on newsramp.com. Today is Tuesday evening, November 19th, 2024, and we have a great mix of cannabis headlines lined up for you. So whether you're on the go, working out, or just relaxing, stay with us as we get started. Here's our first headline.
Consumers primed to spend on cannabis, new poll finds. A new consumer poll released by NuggMD reveals that a majority of frequent cannabis consumers have increased their spending on cannabis products over the past year. In fact, 61% of respondents reported spending more or much more on cannabis. Looking ahead, 45% anticipate their spending on cannabis to continue rising over the next year, indicating a strong demand for cannabis products. Andrew Graham, head of communications at NuggMD, noted that the data suggests the demand for cannabis is durable and likely to grow even stronger. The polls, conducted in October, have a margin of error of 5.9% and 4.8%, respectively, and were based on a sample of nearly 1.2 million frequent cannabis consumers in state legal markets.
Thank you for joining us today. That's it for this episode of the NewsRamp Cannabis podcast. As a reminder, NewsRamp curates news from leading newswires like Newsworthy.ai, 24-7pressrelease.com, newsdirect.com, and blockchainwire.io. We encourage you to visit newsramp.com to read all of today's news.